generation has seen so much already. They've gone through so much already. They know it's not a simple thing. It's going to take a long time. But that's different than fight the power. You know, my generation, our anthems were all like, we're going to turn it over today. We're going to make change tomorrow. I think this is a new twist on hip hop politics coming through in the song. You can't have a political movement without political music. It's just never happened. You go back to the labor movement, civil rights movement, women's rights movement. You always have musicians and artists step up because a revolution is a change of heart first before anything else changes in law and politics and government, in the economy. The first change has to be in the human heart. And that's what art does. Art moves you. Music moves you. And I'm just so proud that Lil Baby is using his platform to move this whole country forward and to move this cause forward. All right, my girl Jamel Hill is going to take over for me. She gets the honor. I'm kind of jealous, but she gets the honor of talking to and interviewing the great Killer Mike. He is an author. He's an actor. He's an activist. He's a musician. He's a living legend. Listen to Killer Mike.
I hope everybody out there has just been taking copious notes, gaining a lot of knowledge, taking some screenshots, because there's just been a lot of really good nuggets that have been shared. Hope you're inviting all your friends in and really having the kind of conversation in this country I certainly have not seen in my lifetime. And I'm curious to hear the thoughts of my guest right now, Killer Mike. You know, Mike, we've been at this moment many times in our country where tragedy has struck. About this issue in particular, we've seen these videos before, but right now it feels like the world is just changing right before our very eyes. I can kind of imagine how some of our, our elders felt during the civil rights movement to see the world just changing right before our eyes. So you're there in Atlanta, where certainly there was a recent incident with Rashard Brooks. We've been absorbing everything that's been happening in the country up until this moment. So how are you kind of handling all of this emotionally right now?
Man, as an American, it's hard because it's just it's a growing pain of sorts. You know what I mean? We know that our country is progressing. We know that on the other side of that progression, that we all are going to be better. I think our community and people who are essentially descendants of the cornerstone of this nation. And the cornerstone of this nation is the Constitution is important, the Founding Fathers was important, but free labor allowed all that to stand. And as the descendant of a slave, and then when I say descendant, I don't mean anything long. My great-grandmother taught me how to sew a button on a shirt as she was sewing blankets that we still use in my house. Her mother was born enslaved. So that's how close slavery is. I know how to sew a button because a slave taught her child to, and that child taught me to. That's how close. So I think that I'm excited that progress is happening, but I know on the other side of that progression, Breonna, Mr. Floyd, brother that was killed here, there are martyrs, and we've long been martyrs for the progression of this country. And I hope that as we enter into another martyrdom, another Black person has died at the hands of the state. I hope that we enter this coming out determined to see justice on the front end and not only when we're angry. I hope that coming out of this, the young people that are in the streets organizing, continue to organize in the time of peace like they are in time of war, because they're organizing effectively. They're causing systemic change in the immediate and not some protracted campaign. And I support that. And plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And as long as you keep doing that, you're going to capitalize off the gains that you're making. And I appreciate, and I don't mean capitalize in a monetary way. I mean, these kids are capitalizing, progressing. Organizers on the ground level who've been working for years, the campaigning around police brutality and violence, have in an instant been able to organize people to progress law.
Yeah, it's been a lot of impressive moments. I mean, you mentioned about how the young